Hey guys, Drifter here. Today I've got a video for you about joining games in progress, or more specifically, being forced to join losing games in progress. For those of you that do public matchmaking and you just search and play solo, I'm sure you get put in a lot of losing games in which it's hopeless to come back, where you're getting punished by kill streaks, that sort of thing, and it's not very fun and you don't even have control over it. It just starts loading the map and you hope that you're not losing too badly. So that's the topic of today's commentary. The gameplay is me pub stomping with iElite Baruka and his crew, and I thought that it was relevant because we're going to smash this team pretty hard and get them spawn locked and start triple capping and that sort of stuff. They're going to end up quitting out, and then new people are going to join in, and the new people that join in with a numbers disadvantage, less of them versus more of us, with flags captured, with points down, and it's very frustrating for them because they're going to join into an almost guaranteed loss, and I don't think that's a good thing, and I don't feel particularly proud posting gameplay where we pub stomp this hard, but it's just the most relevant thing that I could get. Anyway, I'm going to call this kind of like a Ghosts wish list. I hope that in Call of Duty Ghosts we get some alternate options that I'm going to propose later on how to deal with being forced to join games that you lose. So I think we can all agree that being forced to join losing matches is a bad thing. Unfortunately, I would say this is almost a karmatic effect for the entire community. It's caused by another bad behavior, which is rage quitting out of matches, or quitting out of matches in general, forces other players to come in to take your spot to keep the game going and puts them at a severe disadvantage. I don't think it's fair to the player that joins the game being forced to take a loss, and I know not everybody cares about stats, but losing's not fun. It leaves a sour taste in your mouth, and there are some players that do care about stats. If we're going to have access to our stats, if we can look at them, we might want to care about them a little bit. The one I do actually care about somewhat is my win-loss ratio, which is like 2.5, 2.6, something like that. My kill death isn't so great because I do in-depth. And it's also just not fun to play in these lobbies. So even if you joined a game where the other team had quit and there was a reasonable chance that you could come back, and oftentimes, well, I'm not going to say oftentimes, I'll say sometimes, if you're lucky, there is. The problem is that the other team is usually already stacked up with kill streaks, they've got an area locked down, and you're going to join the game and you're just going to get punished and pummeled by airstrikes, and that's no fun at all. Nobody wants to do that. So my proposed fix to this, because here we're not just going to make complaints and then leave it up to whoever to fix it, I wish that I could have an option when I'm doing matchmaking and it would say, match found, we're now playing on hijacked, score 62 to 100, time equals whatever, so many players here and there, do you wish to join, yes or no? So that I could be put into a lobby to either load a game and vote on my map like everybody else, or I would have the option to at least know that I would be joining a game in progress. There's a downside to this, and that's the fact that fewer players would come in and fill a game in progress. So if you are on the winning team and the other guys do rage quit, you get an instant victory, but it's not fun. It's not a satisfying victory because the other guys are gone, or you only beat up on one person, and that's not particularly fun. Another option that you could have is you could just set the search to join lobbies only, or you could say don't join games in progress. Again, this would extremely cut back on the amount of people that join your game. So if one person quits, the likelihood of another one being filled in is significantly less, but on the player side, joining in, it would be much better. I think that these would be easy fixes to implement to the matching system, things that could be put in. But as I mentioned, it comes with the big downside of, if you're playing in a game like me and Baruka here, and the other guys rage quit, and then everybody has this setting on by default, or even if most people have it on, you're probably just going to end up beating on two people, which is very unsatisfying. So let's take a look at what causes you to join games in progress, whose fault this is, and this time I'm going to go ahead and be the bad guy and say that this actually isn't Treyarch's fault, this isn't Activision's fault, this isn't something that they did wrong, this is something that I'm going to blame you. Maybe not you, the individual watching this video, maybe sometimes you, because I know there's that particular individual is going to be the one causing the problems, but you as in the community as a whole have deemed it entirely acceptable to quit out of matches that you don't like for a whole variety of reasons. This is usually referred to as rage quitting, and I would like to make a distinction that rage quitting and regular quitting are totally different things. Rage quitting is, I don't like this, I'm losing, I quit. Regular quitting is, my house is on fire, my wife is having a baby, and my dog just threw up on the couch, I need to leave the game and solve these problems. Totally different reasons. Some people have legitimate reasons, some people really don't. But the more people rage quit out of matches because they're losing, the more empty slots there are to fill, the more other people like me and you and all the good people that would never think about rage quitting get shafted and get put into a game in progress. Even people that join a game in progress don't want to finish it and they rage quit, and that's just passing the buck along to somebody else to pick up and have to get stuck into a game like this. So indirectly, the majority of the community, which I will say you, making some sort of average majority, people that quit out of matches instead of finishing them, are to blame for this, but there is yet a way to fix this. Obviously, if less players quit and you had like stricter punishment for people that quit, then there would be less people quitting. I'll compare it to League of Legends because that's my other big multiplayer game. If you quit out of a match, just one, and especially if you do 2 in a row on League of Legends, then you get suspended for somewhere between, I don't know, 15 minutes to up to an hour or a day or two, and they take it very seriously. Then again, League of Legends matches are all 5-on-5, and they're like 1 hour long, and they're very competitive, whereas Call of Duty is a more casual game, and the matches are somewhere between 5 minutes and at most 15 minutes. So maybe just punishing people that quit out of matches isn't the good thing. I do believe that there should be some sort of punishment because they ruin the game for everybody else. Even people like, let's say I want to play a good game and win, or I'm going to go for my streaks. I have a first world YouTuber problem in that as soon as I call in a swarm or a heavy kill streak, the entire enemy team is gone as nobody used it on and nothing to do. However, there's a counter argument for the people that are quitting, and they're going to say something to the extent of, I paid $60 for this game, I didn't pay to lose, or I paid for this game, I bought this game, I'm not going to play it if it's not fun, or Drifter, heaven forbid we have fun in our video game. Me losing and getting pounded into the ground is not fun at all. I'm not just going to sit around for that. The argument that I paid $60 to play this game and I should win is totally invalid because everybody else did, and you paid to be part of a multiplayer experience, not paid to be a guaranteed win. If you want a guaranteed win, go play single player in some fashion, you'll be fine. The other people that say it's just not fun to lose, I agree with you. Losing isn't fun. You do have to lose sometimes, otherwise the victories aren't particularly meaningful. But what could be done about this? And I think the thing that could be done about this, that should be done about this, that would be the most fun, is to implement a League of Legends style surrender system. This could definitely be abused, but we're going to cut the gameplay right here and go to League of Legends. And in League of Legends, I lost a match this morning, and when you're losing really, really badly and you can tell you're not going to be able to come back and your team isn't working and things aren't going very well, you can call a vote to just surrender. You can just give up. League matches are about 45 minutes to an hour, so at 20 minutes you get the option to surrender. It's called surrender at 20. I had to do that today because I was getting destroyed. And you just give up. You don't quit the game. You don't quit out, but you do give the other team a win. They get their experience, they get their points, and all that sort of stuff. Actually, I don't know if they get more or less, but they do get their points, and I think that would be an interesting thing to implement into Call of Duty. So in a match like this, the people that we were just stomping on, instead of having to rage quit out the match in order to not get stomped and punished, which isn't very fun, they could just have the option to surrender, and they could all vote, and if the majority wins, then surrender, we get our victory, we get our points, everybody's happy, we feel good, and we don't have to play in empty lobbies or be put in lobbies that people are joining. That's all for the commentary. I hope that you enjoyed it. I hope that you learned something useful. I hope that game developers out there and the Call of Duty world are listening and maybe implement something like this for Ghost, because I think it would make all of our lives a lot easier. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like, favorite, and subscribe. Drifter out.